Everybody, today is Tuesday, January the 19th, 2020, and we're still working on division strategies. This week we're going to focus on division facts and what facts do we know that could help us solve division problems. And we're going to be able to do that using models still, so we can use those models that we've been using to help us figure out what those facts are. And once we start memorizing those facts, then it's going to kind of help us to know them immediately without really having to draw the picture as much. But if you still need to draw the picture, that's fine too. So we're going to start out with fact families with 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, you've heard of fact families before. You did fact families in second grade with addition and subtraction. So we're going to use those same fact families that we are learning with multiplication to help us with division. We've already made that connection with the relationship between multiplication and division, and we're going to continue that today. So our lesson objective for this lesson is that I'm given quotients for division facts with divisors of 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, we're using math terms that we've already been introduced to: quotients, divisors, dividends. We're going to talk about those today because they're going to be important for the assignment that you're going to be doing after the lesson. So make sure that you either document those down so that you know what each of those mean, because you will need that in your lesson work for today. And the purpose for this is that we are learning multiplication facts. We don't know those completely yet. We know how to get an answer for a multiplication fact using strategies, but some of us have been working on learning those multiplication facts because we're starting those tests today. So be ready to learn those facts, and it's going to make division much easier for you. It's going to make all those relationships start coming out and being visible for you and make it much easier for you to divide. So we're going to use the facts that we know, and today we're going to be learning how to use those facts to solve division problems. Now, here are the key words that are important when we're talking about division. The number that is being divided up is called the dividend. So that's the total. That's the number that we know. We know the total. Remember that the divisor is the part that we know. It can mean equal the number of groups, or it could mean how many in each group. So the divisor is the number that we're dividing it into. And then the quotient is the answer to a division problem. So these three words are the math words when we think about division. So make sure that you have those somewhere in your journal or written down, because you will need them in the future. And if I say the dividend is 50, then you're going to know that's the number that's being divided up. If I were to say, and the divisor's 10, you know that's how many groups or how many in each group that we know. And then the quotient is always going to be the answer to a division problem. So if I were to say, what is the quotient of, then you know you're going to be doing division. So make sure that you document those words down so that you have them. Dividend divided by the divisor equals the quotient. So in today's problem of the day, or pose the problem, Kara is putting 30 toys into some party bags. She puts the same number of toys into each bag. So we have the number 30, and we're trying to determine how many that she puts in each bag. So we know that she has some bags, but we don't know for sure what the number is. Now here, if the problem wasn't giving you a number, then you could come up with your own number that would work for this sentence. But I have a surprise for you. I'm giving you that number now. So Kara is putting 30 toys into 5 party bags. She puts the same number into each bag. How do we write a division sentence that would work for this problem? What's being divided up? So I want you to pause your video, and I want you to come up with a division sentence that would work for this problem. Well, hopefully you have said that you would come up with a division sentence that looks like 30, and then of course you can put those special characters in. Remember, we talked about that the other day. You can hit insert special characters, and then I just typed in the word division, and I'm able to see the division sign. And once you type that in, you should be able to have your division sign there. So I have 30 divided by 5. And if we're not sure what that answer is, we can put any variable there. So I'm just going to put A. How could I use a known multiplication fact that would help me here? So in this kind of problem, if I already know my basic facts, I could be thinking about what number times 5 would get me the answer. to this division question. So I would think if something times 5, so I'm going to do 5 times, and then I'll just say A is equal to B, because I'm not really sure. Well, actually, I already know what B is. I'm sorry. 30. So what times 5 would give me 30? Now, we've already learned strategies about how to figure out what 5 would be times another number to get 30. You can use those if you need to, but once we start learning basic facts, that becomes much easier for us. And I know that A would be equal to 6 because I know that 5 times 6 equals 30. So in this case, I actually have a multiplication sentence that will work for this problem. So I know that if 30 divided by 5, let me go, I'm just going to copy that and paste it over here because it just makes it easier since I've already got it on there. 30 divided by 5 is equal to 6, and 5 times 6 is equal to 30. So these sentences are fact families. They work for this problem. So if you have a problem where you know the basic fact, it makes it much easier to solve the question. So in this particular situation here, I'm only going to do the first one with you. And then I'm going to save the rest for later. You can work on those if you would like to see what you can come up with, because you're going to have to do that during the lesson work today, so it'll give you that practice that you need. But I want you to think of a multiplication fact that can help you solve each of the problems, right? Both the multiplication fact and the division fact. So let's look at this particular problem. It says 14 toys, 2 bags, how many in each bag? So I already know that the total. How many toys do I have? And I have 14. I also know that I'm going to be using division because I am dividing this one up, and I know that they're going to be 2 bags. So I am looking for how many toys are in each bag. So I'm looking for T, okay? I want to know what multiplication fact would help me solve this problem. So in my mind, I need to be thinking about what times 2 would equal 14. So if I know my basic facts, I know that, and I'm going to put a T there because I'm representing it with a T. I know that 14 divided by 2 equals 7, because 2 times 7 equals 14. So now I have a multiplication fact and a division fact that works for this problem, and have written that fact family. So what I want you to do is take the opportunity to do the other 2 problems on your own and try it to see what you can come up with so that you can solve the problems that are on the lesson work for today. This is a short lesson. I would encourage all of you, since we are starting our multiplication fact test today, that you study each day about 10 minutes and be ready for the test each day. The test that you're going to be taking is basically self-paced. It's, it depends on how you study as to whether or not you're going to move quickly through the multiplication test, or if you're going to work a little slower pace. So please be studying those at least 10 minutes a day. We're all starting out on our 2s, so everybody will be on their 2s today. Everybody will be on their 2s tomorrow, but some of you may go ahead and pass up and start on 3s the next day. So everybody studying and working hard should be able to help you move through those multiplication tests fairly quickly. You have to pass them twice before you're allowed to move to the next number. So everybody study hard, and if you have any questions, I'll be on the whole group meet. Somebody will be there to help you. I'm going to be doing multiplication tests starting at 1:15, so I will be available after our 12 o'clock meet until about 1:15, and then I will be doing multiplication tests until about 2:50. So if you have any questions, you can hop on there, and I'm sure someone can help you, Miss O'Brien or Miss Adams. I hope everybody has a great day. Work hard and get your work finished so that you can enjoy the rest of your day.